Hello to all of you basketball fanatics out there. We are back on the board YouTube channel for some more FIBA World Cup coverage and free picks, part of the Hammer Betting Network. Make sure to drop a like if you've been enjoying the content, cashing in on the picks with Pips's bets, and also make sure you are subscribed to the channel as well so you never miss out on any of the content that we have coming out. Some early love coming in the chat right now for Pips after the incredible run to start the tournament. 10-3 record so far. It's a smaller sample size, but nonetheless, very, very good. And the sample size broadens as well when you see Pips' Twitter account where, 26-8 so far in the FIBA World Cup?
Yeah, it's been just an amazing start. And yeah, on the show, on Twitter, everything is going so well so far.
As far as the show is concerned, 10-3, as I mentioned, and we've just been getting some really, really good numbers here. High value plays, only 3 losses, which gives us 6 units of profit so far in the tournament. And because I was talking to Pips earlier, a lot of these books are taking the small sample sizes they get from the group stages, and that's how they're basing their numbers for future games, not accounting for the difficulty of opponent changing and so on. And that has led to a lot of success over here. But yeah, we have 3 picks coming today to hopefully continue in this vein of form for the second round of games. So we'll go to those 3 picks now. First of all, we're going to go to Serbia, and we're going to take Marinkovic under 9.5 points for minus 135 odds at BetMGM. Then we're going to go to Tim Suarez. If you saw the tweet earlier from Pips, you already have a bet with Tim Suarez. But for the show, also going to take him under 2.5 threes. And we're going to pair that with a Canada over 87.5 points for minus 110 odds at Bet365. Pips really wanted to get Suarez involved and able to do that with this play here in the Brazil and Canada game. And finally, another same game parlay going back to Serbia to take Bogdanovic, 15 plus points, and Nikola Jovic, 8 plus points. This is minus 125 odds at DraftKings. So, Pips, we'll start with the juiciest one here, Serbia. When we do the NBA plays, you don't usually like to venture above minus 120, but for this tournament, maybe for the viewers that are a little bit concerned about taking heavy juice, talk us through this play and why you're comfortable taking the heavy juice in the FIBA World Cup.
Yeah, it's the difference between 8.5 and 9.5, and I for this one like 9.5 because he's a shooter. He could make like 3 twos and 1 3. That's 9. He could make like 3 threes. That's still 9. Still under. So big value between 8.5 and 9.5 for shooters. This guy, both bets are on the similar analysis. Similar reasoning for Serbia. The first thing is Vanja Marinkovic. So I'll just read the numbers. First game against China, he scored 14 points. He scored, I think, 8 points in the last 90 seconds of a game when they were up by 40. So it was like garbage time scoring. So this is the first game that Serbia has a decent opponent, that it's projected to be a close game, and I don't see him getting any garbage time scoring in this one. And the second game they played against Puerto Rico. It was a bit closer game until late into the game. The fourth quarter was like 10 points, average 10-point spread, and he scored 5 points. And then next game against South Sudan, he scored 10 points, so covered this line by 1, and scored all of his 10 points in the last 7 minutes of the game in the garbage time. So like he heavily profited, scored 90% of his points in garbage time in these first 3 games. And I don't see garbage time in this game. I think this is a great game, probably the best game of the day one, or one of the best, most interesting games because Italy and Serbia are always fighting great battles in Eurobasket and now FIBA World Cup. I just think this will be the game for the best players to show up, and not much for Vanja Marinkovic.
Yeah, when it comes to these juicier lines as well, you touched on it also, but like the difference between going from 8.5 to 9.5, in particular for this guy, as you said, who's a shooter, it's massive and well worth taking the extra juice a lot of the time. Don't be fearful of the heavy juice. But this tournament, in its entirety, the garbage time points have been crazy because point differential matters so much. So it's kind of it can kind of lead to some really really tough losses and some
Yeah,
really like good wins.
yeah, and also like he is getting the points in garbage time, and also he's playing terrible opponents. Now he's playing good opponents, and there will be no garbage time minutes. So like two wins for this, and I see him playing like 15 to 16 minutes. So 9.5 should be very difficult to cover in a game where defense will actually be on some level.
Absolutely. Before we go to the second pick, want to remind everybody that you want to tail any of the picks that are coming out on the stream. Please make sure you have signed up to all the necessary sports books, and you can do that by using the QR code in the top right corner of your screen or by going to the link in the description, betstamp.app/the board. You get signed up for these books and always make sure you're getting the best possible price by having the most avenues available to sign up to those sports books. But let's talk about the second pick that is going to be involved here. Going to Tim Suarez under 2.5 threes and the Canada over on points. What is it about this one that you like so much?
So I bet Tim Suarez last game under 2.5 threes. We had no juice line, and he had like so far in the pre-games and the World Cup, we had 6 game sample size, and he didn't shoot over 3 threes. In the most he shot was 3 threes.
Mm-hmm.
So it didn't make any sense for him to be a 2.5. Even 1.5 was kind of ridiculous, but he makes them. So yeah. So we took the under, and he just started very hot and killed this line in like first minute of the second half. But the opponent was terrible, and now they're playing Canada. And I think Canada will scout that and see that he's just fire now. And with Iago dos Santos, and he's the second guy that they need to pay attention to. So I think with Bruno Caboclo, but that's yeah. So I just think this line should be this line should be 1.5, and I don't see him shooting very well against the Canada defense. Also, Canada just 95 against the France, then going well over 100 in next 2 games. So this line should be easy to cover. Brazil allowed Spain to score 95, and they allowed, some weaker teams to came close to 80. So I just think this game should be like 100 to 75 or 80 to Canada easily. I just don't see how they can defend NBA players from
Canada really pushed the pace in this tournament, and it's just wave after wave, and every game Canada's played has been close at half, but it's just relentless sort of pressure that you said other opposition teams can't really consistently compete with the NBA talent.
Yeah, Shea taking over the third quarter, and that's it.
Yeah, give the ball to Shea and kind of get out of the way. That's been when Canada are in tough. That's the game plan, and that's what happened in these third quarters. By the way, guys, it pays to come in here early. I know we don't start like right on the dot of the time that's set, but it pays to come early. I'm checking in on some of the plays. They've moved quite a bit since the start of the show from the sheer volume of bettors that are watching and playing right away. So we do our best, but make sure you're here early and able to get the lines the best prices. But the final play that we're going to go to, actually, before we talk about the final play, want to shout out Sean Glenn once again for sending in a super chat to the channel. Doesn't ever want FIBA to end, and I kind of agree because the betting has been exceptional so far in this tournament. So giving back, we really appreciate that from Sean, and we appreciate everybody tuning in, following along so far in the tournament. But our final play of the day here, going to another Serbian player, Bogdan Bogdanovic, 15 plus points, and Nikola Jovic. I think I said Jokic earlier by accident, now I remember. 8 plus points for minus 125 odds at DraftKings. Pips, what do you like about these two guys also involved with Serbia? Is it similar to the no garbage time sort of handicap you mentioned?
Yeah. So I'll just go. This is like first game of the tournament. They played super soft against China and won by 50. That game, Bogdan played only 22 minutes, 23 minutes for Jovic, and Bogdan scored 14 and Jovic scored 9. And next two games, Bogdan played 30 plus minutes, even though they were blowouts. So we can expect maybe even 32, 33 minutes from Bogdan next game. And Bogdan scored 17 and 23 points, even though he didn't shoot great. But yeah, he's the number one scoring option, captain of the team, like the best player of the team. And without Nikola Jokic, I just think when it matters, it's all down to Bogi, and Bogi will play great. I don't have any doubt. They know their opponent well, and I hope. Just think this is the Bogdanovic game. I expect him even to score 20 plus points, but I'm taking Nikola Jovic with him because he last two games showed tremendous skill set. Last two games scored 17 and 25 points, and I actually watched some part of pre-game. They played in the pre-games, in Italy and Serbia. And Jovic was the best player in that game, scored 18 points. And yeah, that's why I'm going just back to him because he played great against the Italy. He was too quick for their wings, and I just expect him to be able to score 8 points easily, even 10 plus. So yeah, this is the thing with, I think almost every line of the Serbian players should be like 1 to 2 points higher because their best players didn't play much and didn't even try that hard. So now that many matters, garbage players lower the line and go-to guys will perform better. So yeah, I just don't want to place 10 bets from the same game. So that's the only reason I'm going with this same game parlay because yeah, if I had Bogdanovic over and Jovic over, it will be 3 bets from the same game, and I don't like to do that. If I'm wrong with my guess of how the game will go, I can go wrong on either side. There's still a chance that this game will be a blowout somehow, and then it's other way around, and I don't want to lose 3 bets. So I'm just going with 2, and that's it.
All of that makes sense here. We'll do, because wanted to get to the picks early. Quick recap of the previous show's plays. Badger Boy mentions 11-0 in last 11, thanks to Pips and the picks that are going out on Twitter as well. We're going live here next on Monday, but in the meantime, of course, follow Pips on Twitter at PipsNBA to get any additional picks and any additional information, and follow at the Board HQ for updates in the show. But again, we'll be live next on Monday. But the previous show from the plays, I mean, it easily could have been 3-0. It was 2-1. Schmidt was in foul trouble early against Canada, and the second half gameplay by Canada just took away all of Latvia's offense. So easy under there. Shengelia covered pretty early for Georgia. I believe it was pretty early, if I'm not mistaken. And the Dennis Schroeder one, this is one you were upset about because he finished on 15 points, which we needed, and 4 assists, but we needed 5 assists for the bet. But he got taken down in the middle of the third quarter because Finland were so bad. Just quick word on Finland. I know you want to sound off against them.
Yeah, they suck, man. Like they were blown out in 3 straight games in the group, and everyone expected them to be like dark horse of that group. Yeah, it was terrible. Their defense was terrible, worse rim protection, and yeah, no words for it.
Double marking it, and then that's it.
We bet the Germany, but yeah, I expect the Germany to win easily, but not this kind of easily. 30 points up in the third quarter is crazy. So yeah, I expect the Schroeder to play at least 4 to 5 more minutes, and then he will be able to easily cover. But yeah, you don't need to lose something like this.
All right.
Also, just 10-second mentioning, we are betting team source under 2.5 threes, but today, for my Twitter followers, I shared under 20.5 points. And you can, guys, when BetMGM just offers the lines, like when they are fresh, you can just go compare to the DraftKings and find the value. Always do that when you can, when you have like 10 to 15 minutes, just go through and compare the lines. If you see 2 points difference or even like this, like 11, just bet the opposite side. And yeah, always value there.
It sounds easy, but it actually is pretty much as easy as that. Some people got the Suarez bet, but some people unfortunately did not, because that was quick. As soon as they see the steam coming in, they immediately remove it. But the picks for today, recapping these, what we got for the upcoming batch of games. They're all in tomorrow's games. But Serbia, we have Marinkovic under 9.5 points for -135 odds at BetMGM. In the Brazil-Canada game, we're going to Tim Suarez under 2.5 threes, and we're taking Canada as well in the SGP over 87.5 points for -110 odds at 365. And then in the final bet, another Serbian play here. Bogdanovic, 15 plus points. Jovic, 8 plus points for -125 odds at DK. And that has been your show for today. That is it for this week. We're back on Monday for some more FIBA World Cup betting. It's been such a successful tournament. So make sure you have notifications turned on for the channel. Also, make sure you're subscribed and drop a like if you did enjoy. As always, to support the channel. We'll see you guys again very soon and hope you have a very, very good weekend.